We are live. 2026. I hope it'll be a better year than 2025. I have good hopes. I have good hopes.
I do too. Well, the baseline is, down here in some regards. So
Yeah, indeed. But welcome everyone. This is our first office hours for the year. Hey there, Andrew. How are things?
not too bad. I don't know about you, but I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things here. But all is good. I do have high hopes for this year, starting the year out on a positive note, I would say. How
All
about
right.
you?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I concur
good.
with the previous speaker.
Try to
All
keep
right.
that positivity rolling for a little while in 2026 at least. Let's see if we can
Oh,
make
yes,
it
sir.
to February.
Yep. That sounds like a plan. All
Awesome.
right. Any news you would like to share with the good audience here? And welcome all of you out there, of course.
I do. I came across a couple of things in between vacation and getting back and everything. I do have some news that I came across.
All right.
And you can share my screen whenever. I should be sharing, I think.
Well, I am trying. So a second.
All right.
All right. There we are.
All right, perfect. I thought this one was probably worth a mention. This change is supposed to happen today if it didn't already, but it kept coming up. It kept coming up on Twitter. I was getting emails from Microsoft directly and everything, but Entra is switching their DigiCert certificate today. Like I said, it may have happened already. And if it did, and you're wondering why something's broken, this could be the reason. As I understand it, if you're not doing things like certificate pinning, so in this particular blog post, right here, talking about potential authentication failures. If you are pinning DigiCert G1 root certificates somewhere, that seems to be the primary reason that you could experience some issues authenticating with Entra after this changeover happens. And you do need to make sure that you are trusting the DigiCert G2 certificates. I think most of this will happen by default, so long as you are not custom, pinning these root certs and things like that. But here are the services and domains that are affected by this change. So if you start to see some weird things happening on these domains or some of these portals that are referenced here in this blog post, please look for this. Could be something in your certificate configuration. Also came across, this was pretty exciting. I just stumbled across this earlier today, but back in late November, there was an update to the driver automation tool that included support for Windows 11 25 H2, and there were a couple of other things in there as well. But I noticed Maurice posted the version 8 of the driver automation tool into the current branch folder here on the GitHub repository, which is pretty exciting. So we talked about this. I think this came out in beta maybe, I don't know, July or August, sometime around then. Sound about right to you? Yeah. But now we're seeing it here in production, which is fantastic. A couple of things that I wanted to point out about this version. So he's posted the current functionality here. You've got, I really think this is fantastic base functionality that already exists in this version, but also a roadmap of what is to come here. The previous version removal, I assume that is an easy upgrade from the 7.x version to 8.0 or 8.x rather. But a big one, Intune support. And at least here in the README, Intune support. So this current version is ConfigMgr only, but Intune support should be following here this month, which if that happens. I'm certainly not going to hold him to that, because this is a community tool that he does on his own time. That's pretty exciting. I mean, Intune support for something like this is huge. So really excited to see what's coming out of this tool that, frankly, I think what you and I have seen over the years, Johan, a lot of the community has relied on the driver automation tool for quite some time now. And then I also came across, I think you may have shared this, was the first place I saw it, but one of our favorite tools for discovering information out of WMI on clients, WMI Explorer. We reference this tool and use this tool with some regularity. Had not been updated in 7 years, I think. Worked perfectly fine as is, but we actually got a full rewrite of it like a week ago or so, which was pretty exciting. Did you actually have that? Do you have a working version of that installed at the moment? I think you might have to unmute first.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, I have I had two versions of it. The very first new version, which was named 2026 1.1.1, that one had a couple of bugs that were fixed pretty quickly.
Nice.
And that one I happen to have up and running. So if you give me just a moment.
All right. I'll happily give you just a moment.
All right, so here we are. So first of all, as mentioned, this is a new release. It has its own repository on GitHub where they share all of the new features in the platform. But something that I found was pretty shiny is the ability to pick something in the console, and you can right-click it and you can ask to basically either edit stuff and do the usual that has been around for a long time, but you can also generate PowerShell scripts. So it will create a PowerShell script for you that has whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I like that. That was a really nice feature.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
So anyhow, I've been running them a little bit side by side. This is the new one. This is the old one, just to see how they fare different to each other. But so far, this is a very nice release. All right.
All right. Hey, I like that dark mode too.
Oh yes, yeah. I actually haven't tried to run it in non-dark mode, so well, yeah. Does it look too bad?
No, not at all. It's funny. I had so I'm always happy when there's an option, but I'm mostly a dark mode guy. This is a bit of a sidebar, but I had a friend of mine told me yesterday, he was like, I actually don't ever run dark mode. And I said, well, everyone has their flaws, that's that if that's your only one, that's fine. You would like to run light mode. That's okay too.
That is okay. Yeah. All right. But this is more like a VS Code type default theme. So I like it.
Awesome.
All right then. Did you have any other news?
Actually, the only other thing that I had was something that I was going to tee up for you as well. You might have the same link that I was going to share, so I don't know that you want to switch back to my screen, but it was some sad news, Johan.
Is it Niehaus post?
It is.
All right, that one I already am subscribed. Yes, Microsoft did remove the MDT download from Microsoft Download. So if you try to go to basically Microsoft.com, if I can try Microsoft.com /MDT and go to download, you will be greeted by a whoops, no longer available. So unfortunate that is the case. You can still find it if you're creative out there. For example, the Wayback Machine has a couple of archives available, but be very, very careful. I saw a couple of community posts just this morning. Folks were basically referencing different GitHub repositories, like this one here. That if you go in here, it will take you to here, which is a different one. And this one has been toggled on or off today. Do not download. This has been on or off malware throughout the day here. The repository has been reported, but as you can see, it's still up and running. Just stay away from it. Make sure that what you download that tests its MDT, if you need to download MDT, is actually the real deal and not an unsurprising guest. Nobody wants malware or ransomware or both. So just stay away. Be very careful. But it is a sad day. It's been a part of my working life for a long time. Of course, they removing the download doesn't break the product. It still works. But this is a very, it's been known for a long time that it was going away, but it was just sad to actually see it go. It's been working with it for a good 20 years.
It's like one of those bits of closure that you don't really want.
No, it's sad.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that was some big news yesterday. So.
Yep.
That was taking up a bit of my brain space as well, but that was all I had.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And speaking of security risks on that, I just saw a number that just blew my mind. It was Nathan sharing a tweet here. That last year, we had literally 48,000 CVEs published in our industry. That's a lot. So the recommendation here from Nathan, he works as a security consultant, basically reduce your attack surface. If you don't need to have 75,000 applications installed, don't have it, or 75. So just want to throw that one out there. Let's see. Then some fun memories just showed up. It's a tweet from 2022, but it just from some reason surfaced up on my account. But it was fun to see, like good memories down the lane from early my IT forum preference, and we managed somehow to sponsor a flyer to the conference. It was one of the earlier MMSs that happened to be here. So it's hard to see here, but this was just a paper that showcased resources in the community. That's what we decided to sponsor with. We need to print something, but we did that. So that was fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love seeing Compaq and NetIQ on there as well.
Yeah, Compaq has been a while.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
Wonder how long my headset will run because it just warned for low battery. It's one of those days, is it?
We have them time to time. You just roll with them, right?
Yes, that was the plan. Now, question is, don't have enough. We'll see how long it lasts. Let me know when I become quiet.
Sounds good. Are you using that as your mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. All right. And then I stumbled across this one. Not related to what we usually talk about, but last year, as it was, Microsoft said they were going to limit how much emails organizations could send. And Microsoft wanted to do this to basically attack abuse or spam and whatnot. They canceled that rate limit or announced that yesterday also. So they're not going to do that anymore. They are wrote that they will find other ways to combat that. Apparently, there have been a couple of customers that reached out and said, "No, we don't like this one bit."
I was going to say somebody said something.
Yeah. So, all right, that was all I had in terms of news.
All right. Well, chat has a few comments in here already, which is awesome. Happy to see some familiar faces back with us. A few hellos and Happy New Year's, and likewise, I see Matthew in here and Matt and Zach as well. Dan in here, so awesome. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you were able to relax over the last couple of weeks, for sure. But we are back at it, and we've got questions as well. So the first question here is from Matthew. Matthew is creating an app package that is going to use PowerShell to create a folder and then copy files to the folder. I use include source folder for the package. The folder got created, but the files did not copy, and I think it's the path. How do I tell PowerShell to look in the package source folder? I know for command line, it is the percent squiggly line, DP0. And Dan asked if the PS script root variable works. And Matthew mentioned that he's got it in the script, but not sure how it references that particular folder. So a lot of that depends on when the script is running.
Well, I can show you. Is my still sharing screen? Yes, I'm still sharing screen. Mm-hmm. If I go over to, let's see what I have here. It was ConfigMgr, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
in
if
a
I
package.
Go to, package or application?
Well, it says app package, but includes source folder on the package. So,
well, let's do both.
Okay.
Here is an app model app that runs a PowerShell script, and that one obviously works. But let's see what the detection method. No, that was not a good example. Let's see, this little agent I wrote a script for. Yeah, so I just ran PowerShell exe with the name of the script. No path specified at all, and that worked. If you don't specify a working folder, it will set the working folder to where you are in that temp folder. If the script is looking for files, you can definitely leverage script root or PS script root as a variable. That works. So yeah, that's how you do it.
All right. Oh yeah, Matthew did follow up and say this is a package. So. And I don't know if you want to share, Dan put in a copy item with the path example. I don't know if you want to pop that comment on the screen.
Yes, I see it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks, Dan. All right. Matthew's also asking, what AI do you think is best for helping with ConfigMgr?
ChatGPT probably at the moment.
Yeah. Had a lot of luck there with generating like CM pivot queries, for example. Helps with scripts, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, definitely ChatGPT. Claude is probably the better coding guide if you run more, write more code. But in general, ChatGPT knows a lot about ConfigMgr and Intune. You might have to prompt it a couple of times because sometimes it invents stuff that really doesn't exist, but otherwise it's been good. All right.
All right. Zach just had a comment in here. All my brain could think when the new WMI Explorer was announced was Johan and shiny. It's great. Love the right-click options. I do light mode, but dark mode is quite a feature upgrade.
Indeed. Yep. I mean, there were a good chunk of updates in that repository.
Yeah.
That is the old one.
It did have the link in the README though, at the top of the README.
There we go. Let me see. That is the most recent. Here. Now I saw a better summary just a little while ago. Where the heck did it go?
It was showing bug fixes and things like that.
That was more like a list of the changes.
Let's see.
Yes, found it. It was one level up, not in releases. So the original README in the node. So here is like the main new features. So, and this was that script generator that I showed just a little while ago. But
yeah, I hadn't caught that until you showed it. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I haven't looked into the ConfigMgr support yet. I know the old WMI Explorer had a little known mode that you can toggle. So this is the old one. That one had like an enable SMS mode. So I'm assuming it's something like that in the new one. So, all right, cool.
Very cool.
Okay, that's what I wanted to show.
Awesome. I've encountered this myself. Mike's got a comment in here. ChatGPT et al. Just love inventing commandlets. 100%.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, or parameters that like, no, that doesn't exist. And that when you confront it about like, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, I wish that did exist, but it doesn't. Yeah, and Matthew mentioned here too, just something to watch out for. I've found that you have to make sure it knows what version of ConfigMgr you're running, and it seems to assume you are running an older version.
Yeah.
All great tips. This is one of those areas where it's like, yeah, when you're using it to help you out, you definitely need to have, some knowledge on what you're working with there for sure.
Yep. And the more details you give it, the better the results are typically. And don't be afraid of arguing. It's
there's a pretty decent chance that you're right.
Yeah.
All right. I got a question here around the Secure Boot 2023 expiration. That's I'm going to mark today, January 7th, as the first question of the year, Johan, because I'm expecting we'll have more.
Yes.
The actual question is, if devices are reimaged, do we need to set the value for available update key to 0x5944 to reinitiate the process all over again?
I don't know. I mean, that information is stored in EFI. I don't know. I do not know. I can show the question.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see if I can find anything here.
I have not tried to re-image a fully mitigated device. Mike Terrell, oh, hey Mike, good to see you here. He says it would depend on the image.
Okay.
And Mike happens to know more about this than most.
Well, and you know, the reason I made that comment is it's going to be on all of our radars this year. I think June is expiration, right?
Yes. And follow-up comment here, if you put down the wrong image, it probably won't even boot. So test would be my recommendation. All right, cool.
All
So
right.
basically, the challenge becomes the moment you start to block the old certificate, all the old entry for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start to see issues with older images or images in general. All right, cool.
All right. Any tips for troubleshooting SMS state system component in an error state? Statesys.log only occasionally shows an error processing one record message.
Usually that log file is pretty detailed. Nothing that comes to mind at first glance, at least.
No, in the how occasionally is occasionally would come to mind, because those errors will eventually just, even if you have a benign error or what feels like a benign error, after you hit a certain threshold of errors showing up there, the whole component will go red anyways. But if the message isn't giving you much more than error processing one record, that's not going to be helpful anyways.
I don't think I can think of it like backlogs and whatnot, but it cannot keep up. But no, sorry. I would kind of have to see what's going on there, I think, in order to help with that.
All right. Just some follow-ups here on the secure boot thing. Can verify the key is in UEFI, but to update the boot manager seems like I have to. Still testing, running a vanilla image, and Mike mentioned do steps 1 and 2. That's what Microsoft said they're doing.
All right, thank you for that.
Let's see.
Something that came to mind regarding the state messages thing is to enable verbose logging and see if you see anything else.
Yeah.
That might be able to show which record it doesn't like. Because there is an inbox for those records. Let's see. No, verbose logging is the only thing I can come up with at the moment for that one. Do we have anything else?
Just another follow-up comment on the secure boot thing from Microsoft's documentation. There's a question in the doc: what happens if a device does not have the new secure boot certificates after the old certificates expire? The device will continue to boot and function normally. However, it will no longer be eligible to receive security fixes related to Windows Boot Manager updates or secure boot. So,
all right.
Usability still good. Security, not so much. But I think
All right.
that's all I'm seeing for right now.
All right. Well, we still have a whooping 23 minutes to go. So if anyone do have any questions, we'll be right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did see Matthew said I was looking at installing the new driver automation tool 8, perhaps a new blog post on deployment research.
I'll see what we can do.
I could definitely see us popping one up once that Intune support shows up too.
That too. I don't think they updated the old page. No, this one is still the old version. All right. Yeah, that would be good. Maybe a video too as well.
I noticed the deployment rings are slated to be a built-in feature too. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one you had up earlier. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and driver automation tool now uses background jobs to undertake the majority of the actions, and the result is a fully responsive UI.
Oh, that is nice, because the old one would frequently freeze almost for a long time and then continue.
Mm-hmm.
That was something we learned when we worked on the deployment wizard that we had in in PSD that was like so hard to write really good UIs that are somewhat responsive in pure PowerShell.
Yeah.
It's not really intended for that, I'm assuming, but it works.
Remember the first time I did that was popping up Visual Studio, the big Visual Studio, and developing a little UI and pulling out a config, like an XML or something like that, and having a PowerShell script call that, and whew.
Good times.
Oh yeah. Let's see. For the new driver automation tool, is this correct? Copy the driver automation core module to program files, Windows PowerShell modules. With this new one, it might be.
I do not know.
No, when I don't either. But if I recall, when it came out as beta, basically it was just a brand new install. Which I think is also the point of why in the in progress functionality has that previous version removal. So that worked well with 7.x, but I think if you just run the installer, that should get you what you need.
All right, some homework for next week then.
Yep, easy enough.
Yeah, and speaking of, I wouldn't say homework because that didn't come out right. Things happening. We will be back on this platform-ish tomorrow. Because on our community, if I see if I can log in. See if that account still exists. This is my alter ego account. Dang it. Do you happen to have that one up? The community one?
Let's see. I will in a moment.
All right then.
Nope, that is not what I want.
Well, I can do it this way. That's easy enough. Tomorrow morning, we are running a recap for the year. So if you don't have anything planned for tomorrow morning between 9 and 10 Central Time, we certainly hope to see you then.
Yeah.
Wrapping up the year.
This is fun. I mean, we did this last year, at least. And it's a great opportunity to reflect on everything over the last 12 months. Some good reminders, too. Even as we were prepping for it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There have been so many changes and new tools. And yeah, we got a little fun.
Yep.
All right. There was a question coming in from Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen issues with machines upgraded to 24H2? You just cannot finding or recognizing the correct Windows updates. Can't say I have. I mean, every now and then there are issues with the updates, but not for machines being upgraded.
No, certainly nothing broadly.
So Richard, nothing I've seen. Is this ConfigMgr or Intune updates or managed updates? because they do have very, very different mechanisms on detecting updates.
ConfigMgr as well as third-party patching.
Well, a couple of folks having similar issues, but it's nothing I've seen broadly. Just because the device was upgraded.
They're showing compliant for 23H2. Huh.
I see some reports that superseded settings or supersedent settings can come in conflict if they are too short.
And Richard also said it's not present on new Windows 11 builds, just upgraded devices.
I would compare the policies on them and see if there are any differences. If somehow a policy was changed or during the upgrade. There aren't that many registry keys, like 6 or 7 that you have to review.
Mm-hmm.
We will share this link in the YouTube channel, but this was a fairly good thread. A little bit older, but the concept was the same. But the thread down here below it was really good. So we will share this link, and hopefully that can yield some clues.
Yeah, good find.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I did want to go back to Matthew's question real quick about Driver Automation Tool 8, if you don't mind flipping to my screen for a second.
I do not. Let's see here.
Turns out this is exactly what he was asking about, are the exact instructions, because there's no MSI available for it yet. So basically copy the driver automation core module to this directory. And if we look in here, you're going to want to copy this. I think you're going to want to copy this whole directory right here into that module directory. So it's module, version number of module, So I hope that clears it up, Matthew.
Good find, sir.
Yep, thank you. I actually read a few lines further, and there it was. Mike Terrell's asking, is 2026 the year of ARM, or is that a Niehaus question?
I don't know. I really had good hopes for ARM becoming like more popular last year, but from a deployment point of view, it's downright terrible to deal with.
Yeah.
One driver wrong and everything else blows up. More or less needed to have separate boot images for different vendors. Like, what? No, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. And
don't get me started on ADK 28,000. That was the worst release ever of ADK, and that says something because there have been a couple of not great releases over the years. So now I don't know. I was hoping for a better outcome from 2025 in regards to ARM, but I haven't picked up, at least not the customers I've been working with.
No, I agree. I mean, it's like pretty much every major OEM blasted a model out there or a couple of models out there, with that, and Apple moving away from Intel. Even though Macs are their own entirely different beast, I would have thought the same. There's a lot of real pros about running ARM. That battery life specifically is incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Mike. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Any idea on how to execute a task sequence from standalone media offsite, then continue the execution on-prem online using content from DP instead?
The only way I can think of that is I have two sequences. Because once the machine is deployed, if that's the trick, you can launch sequences through PowerShell. And that could be a network-based sequence that you launch. Mm-hmm. You use the media to deploy it, and then you kick off a second sequence from it. Might be possible to change variables, even read-only ones, but I haven't tried switching media type during a sequence, but you definitely should be able to do it with two.
All right, very good. Amir's asking if the recording of tomorrow's 2025 highlight session will be available for us West Coasters, or should he set his alarm clock?
No, we'll record it. Absolutely. We don't have to stay up until midnight. Or very early if you're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was pretty much it.
I think so.
All right. Well, again, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, Johan. Thanks, everyone.